Okay, so the first activity is using the figure below. Give yourself 5 minutes to create something from it. So looking at this object for the first time kind of makes me think about like a flower for some reason. That's just where my brain goes from it. So I am going to start a 5 minute timer, and I am no artist by any means. So this is just very difficult for me. But here we go. Mm, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a little smile. Funny little bee. Give the bee a little buddy. There you go. There's a beautiful picture in 5 minutes. Okay, as for part number two, we can see we have to divide this figure into 4 equal parts that are the same size and shape. For my brain, the easiest way to do that is to kind of break the shape into cubes of equal size and then count out the cubes. Maybe we can make a shape from that. So maybe if I can like do something along the lines of that, and then maybe break that into an even better shape. So like, if we could make smaller versions of that same shape. So there's one. Oh, I see, I see. There's two. Three, and then the last one would be number 4. So sometimes cutting bigger shapes into smaller pieces helps. That's just kind of how my brain works for that one. As for the next piece, the candle problem. Using materials on the table, a cardboard box of thumbtacks, matches, and a candle, figure out how to attach the candle to the wall above the table so that the wax does not drip on the table. So I feel like I'm cheating because I've definitely seen this before. And the trick would be to empty the box. Use pins to pin box to the wall. Then stick a pin through the bottom of the box. Through a candle. To hold it up. So something like you could have a box on the wall. There would be the pin holding it. So you can stick a pin through like here or a couple pins even. Or even if you do it over in the corner, then you would have pins in the side. And then you could put a pin through the bottom from underneath to hold up our lovely candle. And then all of the wax would drip into the box, not on the table. All right, and then in number 4, we have to look at the case of the lead or of the lead mass. So it's saying normally students can use this as an individual activity or in groups. It's up to the educator. So I read all of the case and kind of highlighted things that stood out to me. I personally like to read questions first. So knowing that questions followed, I like to read the questions first and then come back and figure out what kind of evidence I want to look for. So I kind of noted number 1, DeCruz and Viana expected to meet someone. I said it's probably false because they only brought 2 towels and only cut 2 masks, which were for themselves. Um, they expected to encounter some sort of radiation. I said it was probably true because of the lead mask, which was used to prevent radiation, as seen in sentence 5. For number 3, they were conducting an experiment, I said was probably true because they kept track of time and noted after effect in sentence 9. So they had mentioned, or sorry, it was sentence 11. They had noted that after the effect, protect metals, wait for the mass signal. But at the same time, they had also like swallowed the capsule and noted the time that they had done that. So it felt more like an experiment to me. Um, but I mean, we'll never know because it's their, they took it to the grave with them. They were in a violent fight with someone. There was no evidence of trauma or injuries and no sign of a struggle in the surrounding area that they were found in, according to sentence 3. So I do not believe that they were in a violent fight with anybody. It also said that they were murdered during a robbery. I also said that this was false. There was no sign of missing objects, injuries, or struggle other than the cash, but they could have used it to buy anything or given it to somebody. Maybe paid for the pills that they had taken. Um, it says they intentionally killed themselves by ingesting the capsules. I do not believe that they intentionally killed themselves. I said this was probably false because they even purchased raincoats and everything, and then had all this money. But why, if they knew, why would they go purchase raincoats and everything if they knew that they would die? And then they expected to meet aliens on the hill. We honestly don't know their side of the story, so I said that we don't have enough information. And I also said the same thing. They were killed by aliens. I said was also we don't have enough information because there's no proof. I mean, there was one independent sighting of the UFO, so we don't even know if that corresponds at all. My working hypothesis was the men were running an experiment that went wrong. They noted times, the swelling of material, they had radiation mass, and they were waiting for the effects and a signal. So they were definitely running an experiment. They could have been waiting for a person or some other form of signal, like maybe through the form of a reaction. So we really don't know if they were waiting for a person as a signal or a signal from a reaction to their experiment. What additional questions do I want answered? I want to know what were their intentions? Who were they signaling or what was the signal? And why? Because only they know what happened. So it would be great to know a little bit more, just a tiny little bit to point us in the right direction. Um, and then I just summarized my results here since I'm not in a full classroom. So that is it for all of my activities.